Call to order. Conestoga Valley School Board of Directors meeting for Monday, May 15th. I'd like to welcome all of those that are in attendance, as well as those that join us online. Would you please join me in pledging the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Martin, could we have board attendance, please?
7 board members present tonight, Mr. Gensel and Mr. Dillman absent tonight.
And we have a quorum, but also in attendance is the superintendent, Dr. Zhukovski, his administrative cabinet, and the incoming superintendent, Dr. Hartman. This is our second meeting of the month where most of the official votes are taken, many of which are listed on a consent agenda, which includes those items which are routine or have been discussed at our work session last week. Our meetings observe the requirements of the school code, legislative directives, the original Act 84 Sunshine Law, all subsequent amendments, judicial rulings, applicable regulations, and our district policies to the best of our understanding and ability. All the agendas and related documents are posted on the district website. Are there any changes, corrections, additions, or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, there were 2 items added to the consent agenda. Item BB and CC, both were discussed at last week's meeting. They were simply omitted when the agenda was posted.
Any others? There is also, under comments, one resolution that we will be acting on this evening. If there are no other changes or additions, could I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Beginning, we will start off with board commendations. Relax, this is going to be a long evening. It's the end of the year. Board commendations are a way for the board to recognize students and staff who have had outstanding achievements. Congratulations to high school junior Marty McGarth, who was chosen as the CTC Student of the Month for the month of April. Brian is a student at the Brownstown campus studying welding. His instructor said the following: he is a fine young man with a real talent for welding, but his work ethic and persistence to make the parts he manufactures perfect is the most outstanding attribute. He's reliable, always willing to lend a hand to anyone in need. He shows the signs of being a true leader. Conestoga Valley School District has again become recognized by the National Association of Music Merchants as a 2023 Best Community for Education for outstanding commitment to music education. CV's music department staff designs curriculum and instruction that is aligned with the unique changing needs of its students. CV's music educators have extensive training. Grants from the Conestoga Valley Education Foundation have given staff and students unique opportunities not otherwise available in the district's regular budget, including audio production lab and ukuleles. Congratulations to CV High School and Gerald G. Huskin Middle School students who competed in the 2023 TSA State Conference. Every middle school student advanced past the preliminary rounds, and students for both schools combined 8 top 5 finishes. In addition to competing in the events, CV's TSA students assisted with even event setup and live streamed 9 different sessions events during the conference. The following are the participants and final placements. High school team chapter, 2nd place, Connor Knapsinger, Nolan Armstrong, Micah Aldridge, Abby Phillips, Marissa Heisey, Emily Buckwater. Children's stories, 4th place, Connor Knapsinger, Abby Phillips. Coding, 7th place, John Chen, Micah Aldridge. Digital video production, 10th place, Anna Kaufman. On-demand video, 4th place, Evan Zimmerman, Braden Martin, Tyler Steltzfus, John Chen, Anna Kaufman, Emily Buckwater. Structural design and engineering, 4th place, Dominic Santa Maria, Josh Yoder. System control technology, 2nd place, Aryan Shaw, Josiah Hoover, Josh Yoder. Pennsylvania logo design, 8th place, Anna Hoffman. Pennsylvania robotics, 8th place, Dominic San Maria, Joshua, Josiah Hoover. Middle school, coding, 4th place, I told you it was long, Evan Harner, Silas Miller. Digital photography, 9th place, Gavin Maxey. Foundations of Information Technology, 6th place, Gavin Maxey. Mechanical Engineering, 6th place, Corey DeChristopher and Silas Miller. System Control Technology, 1st place, Luca Bowley, Corey DeChristopher, Evan Harner. System Control Technology, 2nd place, Jackson Burton, E.B. Cole, Owen Gensel. System Control Technology, 7th place, Chase Harding, Kevin Wynn, David Whitmer. Digital Video Challenge, 9th place, Gavin Maxey, Melenis Plaza. Pennsylvania RC Off-Road Racing, 8th place, Kevin Wynn and David Whitmer. Congratulations to the 8 CV High School junior males, Andrew Stolzfus, Austin Lee, Jeremy Michaela, Jado Geico, Evan Zimmerman, Nathan Shovaker, Yobel Petras, and Yonatani Desta, who recently graduated from the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce Discovering Paths Mentorship Program. They benefited from the wisdom of a mentor in the community, various field trips to local businesses, and 2 job shadowing experiences. Congratulations to the Conestoga Valley High School's CVG Esports Rocket League Club, who won the PSEL Rocket League state title. The team won by a score of 3-0 and includes seniors Bob Carr and Jason Burkholder and junior Bennett Whitaker. Congratulations to 4 senior student athletes who have committed to playing their respective sports at the collegiate level after graduation this spring. They were recognized in the school's signing day ceremony. They are Rodney Bradford, track and field, Holland Hetzel, Helsel swimming, Connor Ludwig swimming, Victoria Rhodes for softball.
Madam President, I have one more to add, if you don't mind.
No problem.
We had a late addition on Saturday. Congratulations to the boys track and field team for winning the LL League championship. First time in a long time, so congratulations to the boys track and field team.
Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Superintendent's comments.
Retiree?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. And I made the change, didn't I?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it is the end of the year, there are a lot of retirings going on, and we felt we needed to recognize them. Tonight's meeting includes special presentations, not by department, curriculum, or program or activity. This is presented by the board. Most of us remember the annual countdown approaching the school's last day, looking forward to the release of responsibilities from our shoulders, if only temporarily, and a chance to recharge our batteries. Tonight, we recognize a group who are about to experience their last day. They are the members of the CV family who are retiring. Retirements create that strange time when our numbers decrease as they leave and new hires have not yet started. There are those who see the change as a budgetary opportunity, as untenured or less experienced placements take their spot in the salary schedule. There are those who see the opportunity for new ideas, fresh blood, so to speak, and there are those of us who see the loss of experience and perspective, how to manage change, how to incorporate new requirements into the same schedule, the nuances of classroom management, and how to manage and make change happen. Each takes with them a piece of CV and leaves behind pleasant memories.
So before we start handing out, traditionally we handed out clocks, but this year we're also handing out plaques. And a quick shout out to Hut and Emma Bokenkamp for the high school tech ed department. Emma's actually our first female tech ed teacher. And Hut got the wood from the original UATA bleachers. So these are probably, they've been around longer than Dale Gregg. So yeah, they're truly a piece of CV that you're taking home with you.
As we call out your name, will you please come forward?
You're first.
No, I'm sorry, I thought you had, I thought you had the list, I'm sorry.
No.
Just the name of the service.
Yeah, we
got this.
We got that.
Yeah, we haven't done this before. Vicki Treadway, 8 years of service.
Vicki Treadway has been in CV for 8 years. In her time with the district, Vicki has supported virtually every teacher in her role as instructional coach, giving of her time and talents. Many of the teachers at CV will miss her dearly. Having been there whenever they needed, especially in support during COVID, Vicki has been the go-to person for instructional technology here at CV. We wish her the best in her retirement.
Great. Ms. Scallion, 13 years?
Christine, 13 years in the district. Christine has served the high school as an ESL teacher for the past 13 years. During that time, her passion, professionalism, and genuine concern for her students was second to none. Christine's goal was to have each student reach their potential by not allowing language to be a barrier to their success. In addition to supporting her students, she works extensively with the families of those students.
Karen Hoffman, 19 years of service.
Karen's from Fritz Elementary. Karen works tirelessly to help all students maximize their potential to achieve what they even thought was possible. She does an amazing job connecting with her families and creating a family environment in her classroom. As a part of the Fritz family, she has been a source of strength in caring for staff as well. She will be greatly missed.
Ruth Ortiz, 19 years of service.
Ruth is an outstanding educator with 19 years of experience at the Huskin Middle School. Throughout her tenure at the middle school, she was always first to arrive and the last to leave. She is known for her meticulous math lessons and commitment to ensuring her 8th grade math students had an interest in math and learning in general. One of the things that Ruth always commented on was her joy in getting to introduce algebra to students for the first time.
Nancy McGheehan, 26 and a half years of service.
Nancy has spent her career devoting her time to educating children. Her career has taken her from a special education classroom of our middle school to the regular education classroom at Smoketown Elementary. Throughout her tenure at Conestoga Valley, she has used her passion for educating young minds to better the lives of countless children.
Jane Winger, 29 and a half years of service.
At Leola Elementary, Jane has been a positive, creative, and dedicated classroom teacher for over 41 years. She excelled at individualizing her instruction, making meaningful connections with her students, and going above and beyond her teacher role by staying late, attending PTO meetings, and volunteering her time for almost all school events. Her impact on all she has encountered over the course of her career is impressive, and she will be greatly missed.
Victoria Henderson, 30 years of service.
Vicky Henderson is a beloved language arts teacher with 30 years experience at CV. She has a genuine love for teaching, writing, and literature, and it showed through all her lessons and experiences teaching. No one exemplifies the camaraderie of the middle school staff more than Vicky. Her unwavering dedication to her craft and devotion to students and staff is renowned. She has a unique ability to provide her time and attention even when she may be struggling to keep up. While she may be retired from CV District, her commitment to character and community will continue with her passion for volunteering and supporting various animal programs.
Michael Query, 33 years. Oh, there's the record.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
33
right.
years of service.
33 years, yep. Go Irish, Mike. Mike has participated at Conestoga Valley for many years, extending way beyond the classroom. He loved working with students in the classroom and teaching various skills based around technology. Mike coached football for CV in a variety of capacities and taught his values of teamwork and cooperation on the field and in the classroom.
Lori Greiner, 33 and a half years of service.
Lori Greiner is a CV alum, has spent 33 years in the district teaching elementary physical education. During her years at CV, Lori coached field hockey for 22 years, track for 20 years, and middle school basketball for 4 years, along with planning school-wide track and field days, jump rope for Hart, and other health and fitness events for students. She too will truly be missed.
Marty McGarth, 35 years of service.
Marty has served the Conestoga Valley School District for 35 years as an elementary, middle school, and high school librarian. In addition to serving as librarian, Marty served as a Classroom for the Future coach and as technology integrator. Marty's just-in-time approach to professional support for technology integration was always appreciated by the staff. Either as a librarian or a technology integrator, Marty's impact will be long-lasting here at CV.
Dale Gregg, 36 years of service.
Dale Gregg is our senior educator. He has been an elementary art teacher and high school tennis coach at CV for the last 36 years. Dale has been extremely dedicated to his students and has spent every free moment displaying their work and showcasing their talents around Smoketown Elementary. He has also offered art club, chess club, computer club, and clay wheel club to students throughout the years. His impact is immeasurable. Dad just asked me for a total number of years, off the top of my head, 30. About 400,000.
That's how many people save impact.
351.
There you go.
351.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I grab a quick picture?
You bet.
All right, we're gonna do one half the room and then the other, so just.
You wanna get them all together?
I don't know if we can, to be honest, and, do you wanna do it in the front?
Well, they can
Okay.
sit in front, some of them can sit in chairs.
front of the building house.
Yeah, outside.
Okay, we can head outside, that's fine, I'll come right back in. We will disrupt it.
Field trip. They're gonna have some new ones coming in.
That's all I. It'll be a while till they get out, because everyone has known these great teachers for so long. And the other Dan, I don't know how you're gonna function here. Dan? Daniel? Dr. Hartman? I don't know how you're gonna function here without that group.
I'm not sure.
We'll get you, but we've got a bunch of new ones coming and they're good.
Ready for me to go on?
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
You could sing the school song. Huh? I think you could sing the school song. Mrs. Schaefer,
Sarah?
Sarah?
would you make sure they're not just socializing out there?
Do you want them back?
You want it back?
Well, I want Katie back.
Got it.
The others are welcome to come back, they might enjoy it.
They might enjoy it.
No, Katie's right there.
Oh, is she?
Yep. Katie's here, yep.
Okay. Tonight is also a last for Dr. Zhukovski. It marks his last official board member of his tenure at Conestoga Valley. Dr. Z came to CV with very big shoes to fill. He chose to plow his own path, building on the quality, direction, and growth of the district with his own brand of enthusiasm and his own vision of where we could go. It was not always an easy path and included some false starts and occasional resistance among the many improvements he envisioned. However, the end results have been notable. Among them, administrative expansion and restructuring with a focus on student services, especially social and emotional issues that impact learning and the learning gap, as well as non-traditional learning and career opportunities. Curriculum expansion and update to meet the 21st century needs. Compensation reviews to attract the most qualified staff. Complete policy reviews. Institution of the grade 6-8 instructional model. Establishment of the 3-year goal project built around a sound, comprehensive plan to be integrated into every aspect of the district's work with measurable action plans. Establishment of the profile of the CV learner that sets the expectations of all district initiatives to the instructional model and best practices. Always giving credit to the talented staff that worked through these initiatives and the board that supported them. And as he adopted Conestoga Valley as his home community, we all became familiar with his mantra, every student, every day, without exception. That became the core belief behind all his work. The board takes this moment to thank him for the endless work and dedication it takes to assume the position of superintendent. Whereas, Dr. David Zhukovski has dedicated 6 years since 2017 as superintendent of schools to the Conestoga Valley School District. And whereas during that time he has led with integrity and diligence, modeling the patience, grace, understanding, and flexibility he required of others, and has always put the interest of the students in the forefront of all initiatives. Whereas his consistent focus on every student, every day, no exceptions, has led to the expansion of opportunities, services, and programs across the district, including those with non-traditional education and career preferences. Whereas among those programs is the Conestoga Valley Virtual Academy, which he embraced and expanded through the many challenges of the COVID-10 pandemic and beyond, making it a vibrant part of CV opportunities for all students. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved and enacted by the Board of Directors for the Conestoga Valley School District as follows. 1, the offices at the Conestoga Valley Virtual Academy shall be named the David Zhukovski Center of the Conestoga Valley Virtual Academy. 2, the Board of Directors for the Conestoga Valley School District authorizes appropriate personnel to prepare a plan for review concerning signage at the David Zhukovski Center, commonly referred to as the Z Center. Duly resolved and enacted by the Conestoga Valley School District Board of Directors on May 15th, 2023. Inasmuch as the board developed this on their own, we do not need a motion, but I will take one to adopt this resolution.
I move we adopt the resolution as presented.
Second.
I'd like a roll call vote.
Mr. Benigno?
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka? Aye. Mr. Talley?
Aye.
Mr. Hurst?
Aye.
Dr. Martin? Aye. Ms. Trowbridge?
Aye.
And Mrs. Groff?
Aye. Congratulations, Dr.
I'll get it in a minute.
I know. Yeah, I knew when this was going to come, you didn't.
I didn't, so thank you. Unexpected.
Dr. Z, you don't need to reconnect, that's still.
What's that?
I stole the screen, you're gonna need to reconnect.
Yeah, we had this going in back and forth.
Oh, I didn't turn around. Oh, you stole it, all right, gotcha. Can I have mine back now?
You got it.
Superintendent comments?
That's what you want, sure.
This is the first board meeting in 6 years I got what I wanted. And I'm gonna say thank you at the end, but I am humbled and honored by that, so thank you so much. Let me talk first about what's going on with our foundation. CVEF has a record-setting grant distribution this season with over $300,000 in spring grants. $188,000 of that went to a self-contained hydroponics lab, which will be set just on the other side of the parking lot here across from the high school. It's the size of a shipping container, like the big shipping containers that go overseas. And inside it, I believe there was 700 heads of lettuce every week or something they can make. It's insane what they can make.
900.
900. We're gonna pump that water through really quick. So, but again, it's gonna be a learning opportunity for our students, and Jay Gersoffi was the driving force behind it. So it's truly about putting knowledge into action, which is exactly what the profile of the learner is looking for. We are proud tonight to introduce 5 recommended candidates for your approval as part of the superintendent's report, and 1 who was approved last week. And I know I've said this last week, but it bears repeating. While other districts may have difficulty attracting and keeping high-quality educators, CV's reputation for valuing and respecting educators and for focusing on the success of every child every day without exception sets us apart. As such, I'm excited to introduce these high-quality educators who will be making a positive impact on our students. First up is Julie Thomas. Julie just finished up a year-long student teaching assignment at Fritz in a 4th grade classroom. She earned her bachelor's degree in middle-level English education. That's a 4 to 8 certification from Millersville University. She has had an active interaction with middle school level students from across the county as the Lancaster Barnstormers head softball director and instructor. We know she'll have a great impact on the students at Huskin Middle School as she joins the team as an 8th grade English language arts teacher. Welcome, Julie. Anything you said?
I'm excited to start.
Natalie Flory. Natalie is another educator new to the profession. She earned her bachelor's degree in secondary education English from Millersville University with a minor in English as a second language and linguistics with a grade point average of 3.98. Don't ask her about that B+ her freshman year. She's not gotten over it, because I did ask her. When they give me the packets of information, I truly read all of it. And so she didn't hit me, that was good. And she didn't start crying. Natalie brings excitement and fearlessness to try a variety of instructional strategies to reach all students. She found an effective strategy to use the fishbowl technique so that all voices are heard, which is important at the middle school. She'll be making an immediate impact joining Julie at the middle school, but just a floor below in the 7th grade. So welcome, Natalie. Danielle D. Nicola. Danielle comes with a breadth of experience. In addition to earning a bachelor's in special education with a minor in dance performance from Westchester University and her master's degree from Wilkes University, Danielle spent 10 years at Coatesville Area School District as a learning support teacher, autistic support teacher, and special education department chair. She has spent the last 3 years with the School District of Lancaster as a transitional exceptional student specialist, acting as a consultant for the autistic support classroom, the multiple disabilities classroom, life skills classrooms, and Lancaster living apartment for 18 and 21-year-olds. We are excited as she joins Sarah's pupil services team as our special education consultant. Welcome, Danielle. Jenna Razor. Jenna definitely values art as more than just a visual medium, but almost like a language unto itself. She earned her bachelor's degree in art education from Millersville University and spent last summer working with the mentally challenged adults at Friendship Art Studio in downtown Lancaster. We know her mom is proud of her, because we called her up after we offered her the job and talked to her mom. Her mom was crying, happy Mother's Day, it was awesome. Jenna truly believes that everyone has an artistic voice and will be making a positive difference in the lives of every child attending Smoketown Elementary this upcoming year. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you.
Lauren Meyer. Lauren brings a growth mindset to let me start over again, okay? Lauren brings a growth mindset to CV, a graduate of Millersville with a bachelor's degree in early childhood education. She also has a minor in Spanish. ¿Quieres hablar en español?
Sí, un poquito, ¿por qué no?
No, I'm okay in English, thank you. Lauren is taught in Colorado, the school district of Lancaster, and Maryland. We're excited to see the positive impact she will bring to our 5th grade students at Leola. Welcome, Lauren. And finally, Anthony Spataro. This is the welcome that Adele has been waiting for 6 months. Anthony is a CPA, most recently employed as a supervisor with Smith, Elliott, Kearns & Company. Included in his background is also a stint working with the Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency in Harrisburg. Anthony earned a bachelor's degree in accounting and one in finance, both from Penn State University. Although he was formally approved last week, today was his first day on the job, and he's still here. So Anthony, welcome to CV, sir. Oh, now I need a drink real quick.
It's a lot today. I know.
Do you have, did we do Leah?
Am I good to go?
No, we have one more?
Nope, that's still got me yet.
Yep.
Seeing how this is my last board meeting, I just want to say a few words, mostly words of thanks. I'd like to thank the board who hired me, 2 of whom are still here, and the 11 new board members in the last 6 years who have supported the educational transformation that allowed us to develop and implement a focus on the skills necessary for student success in life with the embrace of the profile of a learner. I'd like to thank the administrative team for, this is rough, for challenging me, for believing in leading with integrity and a singular focus on all-around student success, and for realizing daily the power of a team. I would like to thank all of the support staff, and you know that I really hate that term, support staff, professional staff. In reality, we're all support staff, ultimately supporting the student. And we're all professionals, trained and educated to provide the best service for all. Without everyone doing their job, whether you work in a building, drive a bus, work outside, or whatever we do it because of the children. I'd like to thank the educators. Every day, our community trusts their most prized asset to your care. From kindergarten to high school, and everywhere in between, you make a positive difference in the lives of students. In the classroom, the nurse's office, the guidance office, or in the community, the educators do so much more than teach our children academics. They care for, nourish, support, encourage, and help develop the whole child. I'd like to thank the families in the community of CV for supporting our children. They are the only reasons we collectively do what we do, and we cannot do it alone. So thank you for your support. Finally, I'd like to thank my family, without whom I would not be the person I am here today. To my daughter, Caitlin, for letting Daddy be your 8th grade principal. Thanks for thinking I was cool enough to do the job. To my daughter, Haley, for writing the letter of recommendation for the CV board that helped me get this job. And for always saying, "Hi, Dad, and I love you," whenever I see her in the high school. To my son, Michael, for inspiring me daily and providing the impetus to make the move to retirement to South Carolina with the birth of his son and my grandson, Luca. To my wife, Kathy, who knew me as a high school math teacher and supported and encouraged me as I navigated my way through administration. Most importantly, who was a educational role model, as I am in awe of the connections she made every day with all of her students. She was the one who provided the inspiration for my mantra, every child, every day, without exception. Thank you. And I cannot say that enough, so thank you.
Why do I feel like we should adjourn? Are there any board comments?
Just book, is Leah here?
Yeah.
Leah Holling?
Yeah.
She's not here? Okay. Never mind,
Okay.
it was on the list.
Any board comments, industry activity? Do we have any correspondence? No correspondence. And this is the first time in the agenda where we welcome public comments for anyone who would like to make comments on an item that is on the agenda. Is there anyone that would like to speak to the board? Is there anyone from CVEA who would like to address the board? Any other employee groups? If not, then we'll move on to the consent agenda as long as it is. Items A through Q are routine, and items R through double B, right?
Double C.
Double C are from last week's work session. Are there any questions or concerns, or do I have a motion?
I have a question.
Okay.
I was looking at the Special Education Consortium Agreement with the IU 13. And Sarah, you might be able to, where'd she go? There she is. You might be able to help me with my question. I know we use Austels for our OT and PT services here, like in the district, like home district. And I do understand that the IU provides OT and PT services for students maybe that are elsewhere. However, in the IU PT/OT contract, there was a statement in there about an estimate of like 520 hours, but it was just in there for staffing purposes. That sounded like an awful lot of hours to me for other students that are served elsewhere for those services.
Yeah, that's an estimate of the number of hours. We pulled that from previous years, just to give the IU a number. I believe that number might actually be slightly lower this coming year because the current year has been trending low.
Okay.
But it's just an estimate. We're not billed for that full number of hours, only the hours that were actually used.
Got that. So I guess my comment would be if there's any way that we could use the Austels therapists because it's like a fraction of the price, the hourly rate. Just throwing that out there. I don't know how far, like travel-wise or where the students are that are getting the services, but it's a huge price difference. So that's what I wanted to say.
We can certainly look into it. I'm not sure if that's within the capabilities of when you contract with IU, whether you're allowed to take other programs and place them into the IU programs.
Right.
So we could look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have roll call, please.
Mrs. Kapka?
Aye.
Mr. Talley?
Aye.
Mr. Hurst?
Aye.
Dr. Martin?
Aye.
Ms. Trowbridge?
Aye.
Mr. Benigno?
Aye.
Mrs. Groff?
Aye. That brings us down to Mrs. Hunsinger.
It is the Mrs. Hunsinger show, isn't it?
Everyone's
Yes,
hired,
yes, it is.
so
Next
just-
three items.
That's great.
Employee retention, I'm
Are you not gonna make him stay?
No, employee retention, we're gonna keep him. It's one of the benefits, he gets to leave early today.
First day.
His first day, yeah. All right, so asking for your approval of our amusement tax rate this year to remain at 2%. Just a little 30-second background on amusement tax. There's an Act 50 from 1998 that limited the amount of amusement tax we can collect in 1 year of $348,000. So we've tried to adjust the rate down so that the revenue, or the amusement revenue really comes in close to that number. It looks like this year we're projecting that our actual amusement tax revenue will be about $450,000. So roughly there's $100,000 that we'll refund to the businesses that contribute.
That is an action item. That means I'm looking for a motion, but
Motion to
Make-
approve the amusement tax rate.
thank you. Uh,
I second.
Tax rate, do we have to do a roll call for that, do you know? No, we'll do it, we'll be sure.
We definitely can. Mr. Talley.
Yes.
Mr. Hurst.
Aye.
Dr. Martin.
Aye.
Ms. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mr. Benigno.
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka.
Aye.
Mrs. Groff.
Aye.
Okay, so next I am asking for your approval of the budget resolutions for approval this evening. And then also, well, the resolutions are final budget notice, and then the resolution authorizing proposed final budget display and advertising, which we'll do starting tomorrow. In addition, I just need approval of the actual proposed final budget. I do want to follow up from last week's meeting. Phil, you had a question for me on when you're looking at the projections.
Yeah.
And I knew there was something there, and I found what it was. We had contracted with another school district to provide, to allow one of their students to attend one of our special education classes that we operate here at CV. So we're billing that district. So that was the increase in the tuition that you saw.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I knew it was something new. And then you had asked too about the budget revenues with our, I believe if I remember correctly, you said our assessed value was going up, so why did our revenues drop? That's the fall off of the ESSER funds. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
I knew
and
that
then,
didn't make sense.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was the drop of the ESSER funds.
Thank you.
And then kind of following up to Brad Dillman's just challenge, like, we're going to keep looking at the budget, and if there is anything major that comes up between now and June, we can certainly look at any adjustments if we have to, so.
Quick question, the resolutions we pass the next time?
We passed them tonight, and this is just for display and advertising of the resolutions, or of the budget. And then at the board meeting on June 19th is when we have the resolution approving the final
Okay,
budget.
okay.
So I think we have to approve the proposed first, approve that,
Mhm.
and then we approve the posting.
Yes.
Sometimes
We do
we
it twice.
get them in the wrong order, and I
Mhm.
always get lost in that.
Yes,
Okay, then we need a motion to approve the proposed final
Yes.
budget.
So moved,
Second.
and that's a roll call.
Yes, I know. That's definitely a roll call.
Mr. Hurst.
Aye.
Dr. Martin.
Aye.
Ms. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mr. Benigno.
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka.
Aye.
Mr. Talley.
Aye.
Mrs. Groff.
Aye. And finally,
No, and then we did, now we have
We have to
to
approve the resolutions.
yeah, that was the proposed, yeah.
Oh.
now
The
we need
posting.
The resolution.
oh, you want them in separate votes?
Yes.
Yes, please.
That's what I was referring to
Okay.
before, the separation of them.
I move we accept the resolutions for the proposed final budget as presented.
Second.
Dr. Martin.
Aye.
Ms. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mr. Benigno.
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka.
Aye.
Mr. Talley.
Aye.
Mr. Hurst.
Aye.
Mrs. Groff.
Aye.
Awesome, thank you very
You
much.
should have everything you need.
What about the
Yeah.
tax,
That's good.
tax
thank you.
collector?
Oh, tax collector resolution, yes, sorry.
You're not tax collector.
Yeah.
Luckily, none of us remembers this from year to year.
I know. We are asking the approval of the resolution to appoint Lancaster County Tax Collection Bureau as our tax collector for the upcoming year.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mr. Benigno.
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka.
Aye.
Mr. Talley.
Aye.
Mr. Hurst.
Aye.
Dr. Martin.
Aye.
Mrs. Groff.
Aye. So goes the business for the evening. Are there any questions on,
The treasurer.
We still have the
we
deed.
still have treasurer.
Yeah, we still have the treasurer, one-year appointment.
We have to appoint her.
It didn't show up when I printed this out, I'm sorry.
Would you like me to do it?
Sure.
Yeah,
Great. So I move that we approve to appoint the school board treasurer for a one-year term. That'll be Mrs. Hunsinger.
Hutzinger.
Hunsinger. I knew that.
oh,
Second.
there it is. Keep going with that.
And we'll do a roll call for
Just
that
keep
one
going.
also. since
Yeah,
that's good.
keep going, we're on autopilot right now.
We're doing well.
Mr. Benigno.
Aye.
Mrs. Kapka.
Aye.
Mr. Talley.
Aye.
Mr. Hurst.
Aye.
Dr. Martin.
Aye.
Ms. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mrs. Groff.
Aye.
I think that's all from me,
That's
thank
it,
you.
that's it.
Yep,
Thank
you.
Are there any questions or comments about the finance and operations report? Are there any concerns about the curriculum and instruction report? I meant just, it seems to me that as this year went on, the administrators got better and better at culling out the kinds of activities that relate to the profile. And I think that's good, because it used to be much sketchier than it has been. Anything on federal funds?
Wait till next year. Because we're wrapping that whole instructional model with McTighe around the profile. You're gonna be profiled out.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
No federal funds, no
Are you
man.
gonna come back to listen to it?
Out on, you bet, because they stream it, and I'll be able to watch it.
Oh, okay. No federal funds.
No, man.
Board reports. The IU hasn't met yet this month. This is starting the next budget, so we meet a little later. PSBA, I'm sorry, I forgot to get it done in time to post, so it's there at your seat. I don't think there's anything really special. They did make available some different information. It's not so much a legislative report as some of the new stuff that's coming down the road. There was a link to Wikipedia that mentioned religious courses, clubs. That seems to be the next issue coming down that everyone's going to have to deal with. The Lancaster County Academy does not meet in April. In May, but they all invite you to the graduation on June 3rd if you can make it. And I think that's it. Oh, I will add one other report while I'm doing it. The Parks and Recreation. We met with Upper Laycock not there. That changes their entire business model. They're looking at how to start it as just an East Lampeter program and then expand from there. They do need our cooperation to stay with them so they can get the grant, but there is no longer any request for any fees. They would like us to be willing to consider, as we would have probably anyhow, the waiver of the use of facilities, but again, they're not looking for fields, they're just looking for classroom space to do classes and such. And I had spoken to Mrs. Hensinger before about that, and the cost to us for that is very close to zero. So I'm going to assume that we're okay with that cooperative relationship with them. They are talking about trying to come up with some educational things, maybe go back to when we have a summer library, things like that they could be part of. So they're starting all over and they haven't given up. Okay, CTC.
Not tonight.
Nothing? I don't think we have any others out there.
No, we'll have something more definitive. We did meet as a construction team with Mr. Frank Hauser today, but
Okay,
we'll have an update in exec session, a future exec session for that.
okay, and you covered CBEF. Public comments. This is another time during the meeting where we would welcome anyone from the public who'd like to address the board on any issue of their choice.
You guys are up.
Step up.
Please,
Yeah,
come on up.
come sit down, make yourself comfortable.
Would you like some water? No?
Thank you, I'm good. I'm Eric Ramsey.
Okay,
my wife.
And you are a
Catherine.
township resident?
I'm sorry?
You are a township resident?
Yes,
In the CB school district?
yes.
Yep, good.
Our son goes to Fritz Elementary, kindergarten.
Okay. And
Um,
you're speaking just for yourself, not for a group?
I'm speaking for my son
Okay.
and trying, and
We're just
Fellow
trying to
students,
follow all the rules. for
I
what we
appreciate
do.
all of you. Thank you for everything you all do. So as a parent, we're coming out to be supportive of our kids too. One thing that's really been challenging this year, as insane as it might sound, is a bus driver that we've got. When the weather's been hot early in the year, even now, windows are up, things like this, we've tried to communicate as a parent, and it's been dismissing. Even through the school conversations we've had, it's been very hard for anyone to kind of say anything except, well, it's just the way the bus driver is. The kids are coming off the bus sweating. The safeties are coming off the bus saying, sorry, we're trying, the bus driver won't let us put the windows down. I know it's gotta be a hard job being a bus driver too, but there really is, coming from the kids on the bus, that the rule is sit down, shut up. The kids are trying to advocate for themselves and say, I'm hot, I'm thirsty, no, you're fine. Parents are saying, hey, they're fine. The part that's really starting to eat at me is my son has loved going to school, but as this year has gone on, and we've been trying to piece together some of the challenges, of course, there's bullying and there's all kinds of things that we're figuring out. But the bus driver's been a huge element. And it finally started to click to me. This is the first adult that this group of kids is experiencing on their way into school. And it's sit down, shut up. You can't advocate for yourself. Then they're coming into a school where they're supposed to be energetic, and teachers are like, hey, and the kids are already kind of set back and set down. What adult do I trust? How can I talk to someone when this is my first person coming in? And then on the way home, hope you had a good day at school. Sit down, shut up. Okay, now get off. And not even able to say hey to the parent and talk about something such as safety. I don't know how to do anything but communicate it, and I don't know how something like that gets addressed. But like you had said, the bus driver's an essential part of this whole family for our kids. So I don't know what needs to be said or what needs to be done, but I just wanted to let you know what we're dealing with as parents. Some parents have just chosen to drive their kids. And just had a mind of just not wanting to make trouble. But this is, if this was any other employment situation, it makes me feel like something would be done. And this person feels like they're not just running the kids, they're running all the rest of the adults in transportation, they're running the rest of the adults around our kids in the situation, so.
We appreciate your time to come. You do realize that you got very close to the edge because we don't discuss employment issues in public, but this is not our direct employee. But do we have your contact number?
We do.
Make sure we have your name and contact number, and we'll get the administrator that works with transportation to see what we can do, and you will hear from them.
Even if it's just education help,
Yes.
whatever it might be.
I understand everything a child's
Thank you.
life is part of that. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? Yes.
I would like to, my name's Gwen Ramsey, I'm Holden's mother.
If this is the same issue, we're.
No,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Gwen, K-A-T, Gwinn, Ramsey. And as Eric said, I appreciate everything the district does, the board, everybody. I graduated from CV, so did my oldest, he's 25, Holden's our youngest. So it's an interesting experience.
Things change, don't they?
Holden went to pre-K in the district, rode the bus, loved school. Every day he wanted to go through the summer. He didn't want time off. He absolutely loved it, the interaction with the teachers, all the activities, the students, everything. And now we have a broken kindergartner. And he's in kindergarten.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. His experiences this year have been from the beginning of the school year, and if I'm remembering correctly, August 30th, of being bullied physically and verbally multiple times throughout almost like every 3 or 4 weeks from that time through this spring, from the bus, from the halls, from kids in class, and then back on the bus all the way around, and from kids, and then I'm going to say and adults because of this bus driver. But you already heard Eric speak to that. I've provided documentation of pictures, witnesses to almost every instance, if not every instance, and it has felt like it has fallen on deaf ears. and just brushed off, oh, kids are being kids. It was even kind of debated as bullying versus picking on. Our understanding has always been every child has a right to a safe learning environment, and that has not been his experience. He wakes up every day hating to go to school. It's a struggle. We go to therapy, he's in counseling, we're doing everything we can on our end. We don't expect school to be perfect, but this is way beyond anything we ever expected, and it terrifies us as to what the rest of his school career is going to be like. He walked into kindergarten registration with an autistic diagnosis that I gave copies of, talked to them, expressed concerns, asked about an IEP. My oldest has autism as well, so it wasn't my first experience, but I don't claim to know everything, how it's going now either. Whole new ballgame, new child. That felt like it was fell on deaf ears as well. I was told I'd be followed up. I would receive follow-up, never happened. I had to keep asking. Didn't know what I didn't know on some of it to find out, okay, finally we're starting to get the wheels moving in December, when I've been asking about it since May. And then here we are now, May, and we're just now starting to get the evaluation done and talk about it and talk about a 504 or an IEP. And that is also frightening because we're so far more advanced now than when my oldest was going through this. And this experience was more traumatizing than the first. And whether he qualified or not, just the process and having the concerns discussed, dealt with, whatever, however you want to say it. It just seems that there's a huge lack of communication, accepting of responsibility, and follow through and taking action on the school's end. And I don't understand it, and I'm not looking to fight with people and have all kinds of angst and everything. And that's the stress. It's been traumatic at home for us adults and for him for this school year. And again, I'm like, if this is kindergarten, what in the world is the rest of the school year going to look like? So whatever help can happen and however we can help with that process. And thank you, Dr. Z, for your help with the windows coming down. We've been asking for that since August of last year. And that to me is just sickening. And that's why I'm here tonight, just reaching out to wherever for whatever help. And it's not just Holden, there's other kids that are affected too, but for our son and hopefully to have a much better experience going forward.
Well, we appreciate your being willing to share that with us. And again, we'll take the highest level administrator we can to look down and see why things got pushed aside if that's what happened.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
taking the time to come. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to the board? If not, does any board member have any issue they'd like to bring up?
I have one thing.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer of power of the pen. Okay. We received a letter today from a young middle school student named Justin Ashby. And he has a request. Supposedly, he would think that it'd be a good idea if we had a bike rack at the middle school. Because when he gets out at 2:34, i.e., quote, I see some random student messing around with my stuff. I have a bike lock to use, but there is nowhere to lock my stuff up to, etc. He even went so far as to costing out a bike rack. Probably estimates between $74 and $149.99. Okay? Don't know where we're gonna put it, but I think I love the initiative, and I think it would be a little out of sorts, but I think as a board, it'd be really nice if we approved a bike rack for the middle school for Mr. Johnson to install, and I think we could probably find $150 in our budget to buy a bike rack.
I don't disagree that we could probably find $150. I do have a problem with suddenly having individuals feeling you come to the board and you get money. But what we will do is we will turn that over to Mr. Johnson, who will see if that is a necessity, what it costs, what it would cost us as opposed to what he found it for, and if there's an appropriate place.
We're good?
May I ask you, do we have many kids that bring bikes to school?
Rachel's there.
There's a few that are, I've noticed riding to the middle school.
So this might be a legitimate need?
Yes, I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And make sure
Is that
you get
4 or
this
5?
young man's name and address or phone number and contact him directly.
I will be glad to do that.
Dr. Mensing's here as well.
There's about 4 to 5 students that ride on a daily basis.
Okay, so we don't need one of those big, long racks, just a small one.
No, but they did pick out a spot, they'd like it
Oh,
in the
did
new
that?
courtyard. Administration office.
Do they want to name their spaces?
No, but they are very passionate about it, and I will say that they have invested in following safety rules and getting helmets and making sure that they're riding the correct way, because they used to ride to the old building and now they go a different way, the new building, and they've taken a lot of pride in that.
And they took the initiative to ask for what they wanted. Good for them.
Ken, is that something that we can have before the beginning of the next school year?
Oh, and I don't think there's a shortage of bike
I-
racks.
you never know.
Yeah, cover this building.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind those of you who offered to help with the AAA policies, that's going to be on the 23rd. May 25th, for those people that are participating in the equity survey, that's the date that has to be finished. And most importantly, tomorrow is election day. Please be a role model for your kids and let them know that you voted. I don't care who you vote for, as long as you get there and they know you voted. Anything else? The dates are posted. If there are no questions, then I will take a motion to move to executive session for legal and personnel reasons.
So moved.
So moved. Oh, so go ahead. Second.
Can the gavels out the last time?
I'll watch you do it.